Welcome in to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. We got some new faces in the studio today. Michelle is going to be out in Seattle. Joan is coming back from Oxnard, and Mike is on vacation, so we had to bring out the heavy hitters. Diehard Cowboys fan Dia Wall and Glenn Stretch Smith, and then we got Director Kelly around the half wall. So on this Friday, we're going to come swinging. The midday hit was fiery.
Yes.
I've heard a lot all this offseason. All I've heard is, well, we're going to plod through another season of the Cowboys. We're going to get to another. Boy, they look good, but all of a sudden they're 500. Dia brings her bag in here. She's got her house shoes on. She sashays in here, and the first thing she says is, it's just going to be another year of these Dallas Cowboys. And she wants to drink some of the Kool-Aid. I promise you she does. And I'm here to absolutely get to mixing it up. And I'm not going to give you any of them goofy sweeteners. I'm giving you the real cane sugar. It is not going to be any off-brand Kool-Aid.
That's the good stuff.
I'm going to bring it.
Okay, here's the deal. I didn't say, they're going to be terrible again. All I said was,
I think it was healthy skepticism.
I have healthy skepticism, man. Like, I am a Cowboys fan through and through. I'm not a delusional one. I need to see it with my own eyes. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying.
So go ahead.
I was going to say.
No, but what I think, I'm sorry, Kelly, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're okay. This is what we do on the show. We just talk over each other for an hour.
Michelle knows it all too well.
You're in good company. Dia, just the other day in the studio, I was talking to you about the vibes and that the vibes in this offseason just feel different. And you said, I'll believe it when I see it on the field.
Okay, so a lot of people may not know this, but I was working for the team in like 2007. I remember the vibes were high then too, right? And also, I come with a little bit of baggage, right? I lived and worked in Kansas City for 9 years, so I got to see Alex Smith and then Patrick Mahomes come, and I got to see the rise, y'all. And, of course, I'm not on the field, okay? I'm not a coach. I'm not a player. But there's something in the magic, right, of a team that when they need to go down and score, they do it. When they need a critical stop, they go and do it. Some people call it clutch. They call it a lot of different things. And I think football is the absolute hardest sport to do that in because there's so many moving pieces, literally and figuratively, on the field. And so for me, I never make a full assessment of a Cowboys team until about late December because we won't really know. For me, at minimum, it has to be the NFC Championship or the season was a waste of my time. It's been 30 years.
So let's just start by baby stepping this if we can.
Let's do it.
And I want to I'm going to walk you through, and we'll take the colors off of the star on the helmet and all that. Okay. Let's just talk what I think is the reality of the personnel of this football team right now. And we'll start with receiver because arguably they have two of the best receivers in the league. I think we can agree on that. You'll go to Seattle and you can say JSN and Shaheed, or we can go to Cincinnati and you might say Chase and Higgins. Yeah. And what I'm going to tell you is Pickens and CD are as good as those two.
Agreed.
Period. Okay. Now then, let's go to tight end. Tight end, they've got a good tight end in Jake Ferguson. They've got Span Ford. They've got Soonmaker, and they have Trigg, who, oh, by the way, is going to have to step in because Font is down. Okay, so that's tight end. Now, let's talk depth back at receiver. We got Flournoy, and we have Turpin, and that's not counting Valdez-Scantling. That's not counting some other guys that we have. Offensive line-wise, as good a front three as there are, center and guard. Cooper Beebe, Booker, and Smith are as good as they are in interior three, okay? Now, Guyton needs to take a step. Yes. He needs to step up. And I think Steele will continue to do what he's done, which is give you kind of a blue-collar, workman-like effort. Dak showed me last year, which I was very critical of him getting $60 million a year, but he elevated his game last year. Okay. Arguably, he's a top 5 quarterback now. Javonte showed me all that I needed to see of what he did making the transition coming from Denver to here. He can protect. He can come out of the backfield and catch the football. Do they need depth at running back? They do.
Yes.
They do. and maybe let's see through this preseason if Blue and Maffa can step into that role. And if they can't, Let's keep an eye in Arizona for James Conner. Let's keep an eye on somebody that's a veteran that might get cut. Now let's go to the defensive side real quick. Defensively, as good a front two as there is in the National Football
For the
League.
first time in a long time.
Go ahead, she's going to sing like we're in Sunday church.
Are they going to stop the run finally?
They've got two. Hear me now. Two that are going to take up your interior three all day long. You got Clark and Quinnen Williams. Now, you say last year, boy, linebackers was really poor. Williams, not very good. Okay, great. They're in so much better position now.
Yeah.
They've got D. Winters. They've brought in.
Overshown back.
They've got Overshown back, and they drafted Barham. We saw a kid, Justin Barron. Nobody knew who he was. He got 2 picks in the scrimmage the other day. Now the secondary. Downs is as good as there is.
Oh, that young man.
Ravel,
pleased.
I always think that the biggest step in the National Football League is made year 1 to year 2. Ravel, this is his year 2. Now all of a sudden, he looks, you watch him in practice, he is reading, reacting, he's recognizing route concepts. The arrow's going up there. All right, they brought in a free agent safety in Thompson. Now they've got Bland, they've got Kobe Dink, they've got depth in the secondary. We all know football is about attrition. This team has got depth. Do I feel great about the offensive tackle position? No, but everywhere else, this team has depth, and they can go out and overcome an injury if we have something that, let's say somebody turns an ankle, they're down 2 weeks. No problem. There's depth on this football team. And to me, when you combine where they were a year ago offensively, marginally better defensively, where's the stick where I can stir this Kool-Aid?
Oh, buddy.
All I'm saying is my tummy hurts because that's a lot of sugar that I just got.
I mean, in theory, yes. But you still got to get on the field and put the pieces together. I think that's what I want to see. I'm big on the eye test, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
I need to, and I don't disagree with anything Stretch has said, right? I am very excited. I know tomorrow night, first preseason game, we're finally going to get to see at least, I know Shotty came out and said, the first round picks are going to play. He said they're going to play a little football, obviously. I don't anticipate we're going to see the mainstays, Dag, CD,
George. Yeah.
I don't even think there's any need to risk injury there.
No.
It's not that I disagree with anything you were saying, but the Cowboys have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL this season. I mean, you get punched out the gate, and then you still got to travel internationally in the first 3-4 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, and again, there's going to be adversity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What I'm pointing to is the fact that this team has depth.
They do.
For the first time in a very long time.
A competent roster.
What I'm pointing to is that Jerry, whoever he's listening to now, is telling him some solid things, because to go sign Quinnen Williams, to get Pickens back in the fold here, to have what you have right now, to go free agently attack positionally what you needed at safety and linebacker. Whoever's talking to Jerry, please keep talking, for crying out loud, because right now I believe depth-wise and what you're seeing and what you're going to see out of this football team is that they have some down-the-line players that can play, and I think that's what we'll see in the preseason. You made mention they're not going to play their frontline guys. Are they going to get Malachi and Caleb Downs some burn? You bet they are, and they should. Mm-hmm. They should put them in there 8 or 10 snaps just to see the speed of the game, just to feel somebody in a different colored jersey come up and bop you in the mouth one time. That's what you want to see in order to get yourself tuned in to where you want to go.
I do want to get into the Quinnen Williams at all real quick, because I know Dia has a hot take on this. But
yes.
So we have, he signed a contract extension, and he spoke for the first time yesterday about his contract situation. Kelly, I believe that's top 4.
It wasn't, I want to say, important to me. The most important thing about is winning and getting better every single day, and winning football games. But it's super dope to see an organization that want me here for the long run, that believe in me. And I'm super excited for an organization and a team like this to want me here and believe in me also. So, but the most important thing is winning football games and getting better on defense every single day. So I think that's the most important, and I'm kind of focused on that.
For me, I think the biggest thing there is that I feel like his head is in the right place.
100%.
You know, so he yes, you just got a bag, but it's all about winning, and he knows that.
Well, but that's because the tradition for the Cowboys front office is to drag you through the mud, leak a few stories, call some people in the media, drag it out way past the time that it should normally
Talk about
take.
your agent.
Exactly, to get a contract negotiated. And I think this is a testament to what happens when you just take care of the business. Mm-hmm. You want the player here. They want to be here. Let's sit down at the table and fix it. My hot take, though,
I'm
Nicole
ready.
Lynn, baby. You want something done, go get a sister to do it, okay? She rolled into Oxnard for one day. One day. And then here comes the tweet. Anybody got a Brinks truck? Because he's getting paid. Like,
there you go.
And at the end of the day, for
She's
me,
been getting a lot of her clients paid.
100%. She has had a monster offseason. Nobody works harder than that lady. But I say this, and I mean this with all sincerity. It makes it a lot easier for him to go out and focus on football when you have a competent agent at the table, and you also are not introducing all these other elements into the process, right? So, again, I don't know what the future holds for Pickens down the line, but the number of people who I have heard saying, oh, God, I wish she was Pickens' agent. Maybe this would have been wrapped up, right? So I want to see that continue. I would like for the players that the Cowboys want to retain, get them paid so they can get out here and get to work. I think we've had season after season of too many distractions and too much drama. Stretch brought up Dak making $60 million. You know why he makes $60 million? Because they didn't pay him when they should have.
Yeah, they waited way too long, and then they paid him about 2-3 seasons too late. And
there
now
you go.
Right, and so who was Jerry listening to then?
No
you
clue.
understand? Because I've been in that building. I was in there for 9 years, and I understand whoever he's listening to now, it's got a more. It feels like it's got more sense. Now you talk about is it Nicole Lynn, I think is the agent's name, and do you want to deal with her or do you want to deal with David Mulugeta? And now I'm going to say this. I watched that little clip of Quinnen Williams. That really should have been Micah. That's who that should have been. Jerry was. Hold on a minute. Jerry was welcoming Micah into his family and had a handshake deal with him and basically was giving him that upfront money just like he gave Quinnen Williams. And it was an agent that got in and said, no, wait a minute. Now, I'm not going to push this all on David Mulugeta, and I'm not going to champion Nicole Lynn. I'm going to tell you that I believe that you have a player in Quinnen Williams who wants to be here. He wants to be with this organization, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to be here? You want to come from New York in a team that's horrible. They're going to be horrible. They're going to be in the bottom. They're going to be bottom feeders this year in the NFL, or you want to come to the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that's what Jerry's saying is he's welcoming guys in that want to be a part of this organization. And to me, all of that feel good is only going to pour out on the field. Don't get me stirring again.
Are you cool? But here's the thing. Micah wanted to be a Cowboy. He cried on draft night, like his entire family. But I think when you allow all that other stuff that don't got nothing to do with football infiltrate your locker room, it can have a disastrous effect. People talk about like the great teams of the 90s. You know, I was but a young pup. But what I will say is this. There came a point where all that foolishness going on off the field became too big to overcome, despite the talent. And so I just respect an agent that's not talking to the media. I respect an agent that's just here to do their job. Getting business done.
What do you got,
I think she has 3 or 4 players who are the highest paid at their position in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's doing it quietly.
So tomorrow, first preseason game in Seattle. Stretch, Dia, what do you guys need to see out of that game to keep the Kool-Aid going for Stretch? Stretch, you go first.
Yes.
To me, I want to see the young guys get out there and get a little burn. I'm going to be looking myself at much more of what's happening special teams wise.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see some guys flying down the field on special teams, and I want to see sound defensive schemes line up. I don't know how Seattle will play, but I know going to a 34 defense, I just want to see sound defensive schemes, guys flying down the field on special teams, and let's look at some of these down-the-line guys to see what we're going to get, because other than that, I'm not getting a whole lot out of it, and it's not gonna. I'm not gonna teeter-totter one way or the other about how I feel about this team in 1 or 2 or 3 preseason games. To be honest,
I was gonna say to that end, Christian Parker comes in as the new acclaimed DC. Like we talked about schematically, how much of that do you see? This being the first look of what Christian Parker's new defense looks like.
To me, it's going to be, okay, does Seattle come out in 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers? And if they do, Dallas will have to balance up with a true, what I feel like is a 34 look. And let's see what that looks like with the personnel that's here now. I want to see what is Sam Williams going to do? What are we seeing out of Shamar James? What are we seeing out of some of these? Is Maris Leofau going to be on this team, or is he not going to be on this team? And all of those little things to me mean, do they fit in his scheme and his long-range plan for how he sees the defense?
I just want to see Caleb Downs come out, and I want him to be the dominant force on the field. You're not even going to be playing ones.
Yeah.
So I want to see him come out. I want to see him look comfortable. I want to see him, to stretch his point, playing game speed. That's what I would like to see. There's still questions about backup quarterback. So that would be, I agree, real football doesn't start for me for a few more weeks. But I definitely am interested in what they're going to do at that backup quarterback position, because Dak is, a bit geriatric in the league, or on the cusp. He's a cusper.
He's the 5th oldest quarterback in the NFL.
I know. But I just want to make sure that there is, a plan moving forward. So that's the position that I'm going to be watching more than any other, is backup quarterback. I pray we don't need him. But that's a position I'm definitely going to be watching.
I know that it's the league of overreactions. Is there anything that can happen in this game preseason wise that would make you worry as a Cowboys fan?
If the defense line up looking confused like they did all last year,
even in a preseason game with the backups in.
To Stretch's point, there is so much. At least in what I saw last season, they were just out of position all the time. Huge gaping holes in the backfield. I was like, what the heck is going on? Who is coaching, right? And so much of, at least in my opinion, whatever defensive scheme they decide they're going to run, you got to be in the right place. So whoever is going to be calling for the defense, I don't care where they are on the depth chart. I want to know that they know what the heck they're doing out there, because I didn't have that feeling last season. And even when you came to me about half an hour ago, I was going back and listening to some of Shotty's last press conferences and stuff, and he was talking about some of the things he didn't like when they scrimmaged the Rams out at camp in Oxnard. And he said, we had some spots that were a little airy. I'm like, oh, that's the word you use, airy. I mean, ain't nobody out there, okay? Ain't nobody out there, right? Too much space. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. I just want to make sure people are lined up and that we're not getting torched.
This is the time of year for me and they busted 2 coverages in that joint practice with the Rams. This is the time of year that you want to see that.
Yep.
Because guess what? In the preseason, this preseason game, then they'll have a joint practice with New Orleans, 2 more preseason games. All of this right now, we're drawing in pencil. And we can erase it and we can clean it all up. Hey, in 3 weeks, when the real stuff starts to fly, that's in a Sharpie. There ain't no erasing that. So if we're going to make mistakes, and they're going to make mistakes in a new defense, let's get it out of the way right now so you can teach off the film, and hopefully that doesn't happen in the regular season like it did a year ago, where they were still continuing to play with really poor leverage, really poor position. It was a lot like the Rangers. It was a really hard watch.
Just one more
I
thing.
told you I didn't want to talk about the Rangers today.
The Rangers are just breaking my heart. But the only other thing, too, there's been a lot of talk about leadership this offseason. I want to see who is not playing. Which one of the starters got the headset on? I want to see who is out there talking to some of the guys coming off the field on some of these drives. I want to see who is stepping up, because
defensively or just in general?
Especially defensively.
Okay.
Especially defensively. Stephen Jones came out and was like, there wasn't a lot of leadership. And this is the one time I'm like, that's no cap. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I think that I loved Micah Parsons. Great talent. Great player. But the problem, there was not a lot of leadership. It felt like a frat house. And so for me, I enjoy the professionalism. I enjoy people packing their lunch pail and getting on this field and getting to work. So, yes, the vibes are high. I am more optimistic than I have been in a long time. And you and I agree. Before Stretch even told me he was stirring up the Kool-Aid, I told him this was the first competent roster that I can think of in the last decade. I agree with you. There's depth there, and these are not just a guy. off the street. These are talented players. So I want to see it all come
Kelly
together.
was mentioning that, the vibes are high. And we had asked we asked Ed about it, right?
Yeah, we had Ed Werder on, and I brought up the vibes, and he spent 5 minutes shutting me down.
What did he say?
I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically, and kind of a little bit to the point that you've been making for the last couple of weeks, Dia, where it's like, I'm going to, show me. I will believe it when I see it, because we have had our hearts broken so many times where it feels so good, and then they just can't get it over the line
Just
to actually turn it into anything.
Give me a few series at the opener, and then I'll be more than willing to plant my flag and give you my hot takes for the season and my bold predictions. Absolutely. Dak looks incredible right now.
Yeah.
The game's coming to him. He looks healthy. My Overshown might be my favorite player on the roster. I just love the way he plays.
Everybody loves Overshown.
You'll have to fight Michelle for that one.
I think it's because he plays with a certain amount of intensity and fire that was so lacking on this defense previously. Okay. We know what the Cowboys offense is capable of. They got all their pieces back. Mm-hmm. I'm not concerned about the offense in the least.
How you feel about Gotti?
We'll see. I'll reserve
What
judgment.
do you think about the whole greatest offense there is?
Well, I mean, great. That's fun. Put on a T-shirt and we'll, run buck naked through downtown Dallas if you want to. That's great. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a really good offense. It's a really good football team, and if they get marginally better on defense, I think you'll get opportunity to buy in. But everybody's initial take, when I've talked to people, wherever it is that I see someone or talk to someone, hey, how the Cowboys going to do this year? How do you think the Cowboys are going to do? I keep saying this is not an average football team. They are not an average football team. Now, you mentioned how tough the record could be. We talk about backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. Lord willing, that doesn't have to happen. But
get your blessed oil out.
If this team can stay healthy and they can get, I believe, marginally better on defense, you're going to see a team that's got a chance to win the NFC East. And if you win the East and you get in the tournament, anything can happen.
We just need, more than anything, I don't
I was going to say, where are we going with this?
I just need to see it. That's where I'm at. I need to see what they look like first couple series. I don't want no jitters out there. I want it to be airtight and a little bit less talk. And honestly, off-season camp has given me that. It's provided that. It's hard. Straight as a Cowboys fan, we done been through so much. It's hard to really buy in. But this does, from a roster construction standpoint, it looks like the best in the last decade, easily.
From camp, you guys keep mentioning, the defense, and if it's even marginally better, how good this team
You can't allow 30 points a game and be successful in the National Football League.
Yeah.
If the defense can hold teams on average to 18 to 20 points, the Cowboys will only lose 2 to 3 games a season. That's how good their offense is. That's just on default.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I believe just marginally better. Get us 1 or 2 critical stops a game.
Yep.
And you're going to see that from the young guys.
Yep.
Now an offense that can really grow. And guess what? They can play every personnel group that you can imagine. I could sit here and talk about this for another 30 minutes. I know you guys are wanting to go to break, but I'm telling you right now, they can play any personnel group. They can go 4 wides. They can go 3 tights, and they can feel good about doing it. Guess what? That's going to give defensive coordinators nightmares to have to dial into that.
We don't have to go to break
Before
yet.
we go to break,
we still got a few minutes. Our next guest isn't on yet.
We're good.
So, Dia, the floor is yours.
We roast Jerry Jones on the regular, on air, online, on streaming, in person. We talk about Jerry and Steven so bad. Bravo, fellas.
Oh,
this is the first time.
Flowers?
This is the first, and it's because of getting the Quinnen Williams contract knocked out.
They've never done that. Really
getting Pickens back
and
getting Pickens back and happy, even though they have not come to terms on a new deal for him just yet.
Yeah.
It is your coach being able to break his own news. Jerry not telling us what the lineup is going to be for the preseason game. I don't know what's happening, out there at the Star. But what I will tell you is I have not heard a single what are they doing?
No. Yeah.
All off season.
Yeah.
All camp. They have made investments that are typically unusual for a Cowboys team. Jerry likes offensive players. Jerry likes jersey sales.
The flashy stuff, yeah.
He's a salesman at heart and the best in the business, baby. That's why the Cowboys are the most valuable team in America's team.
There you go.
But
$15 billion.
Y'all, when it comes to the business and the football, Jerry, Steven, bravo, gentlemen. I'll take that.
I mean, you make a great point. I mean, it's the first time in a long time that they've been proactive at getting their players in position to do what they want to do, which is go to the next level. I'm going to say this one more time, and I just want you to think about the context of what I'm saying, because I've been over the depth of this football team. But literally, you could line up with one running back and 4 wide receivers, which means Pickens, CD, Flournoy, and Turpin, and 1 running back, okay? You can go 11 personnel and bring a tight end in, those same 3 receivers. You can go 12 personnel, bring 2 tight ends and 2 receivers in, okay? Yeah. You can go 13 personnel, bring 3 tight ends and 1 receiver in. Now, if you're a defensive coordinator and you're trying to game plan a football team, think about having to game plan for every different personnel grouping that's out there and knowing how capable they could be to get you vertically. I'm telling you, it's going to give defensive coordinators nightmares, and that's why I'm 100% on board with. I've already seen what they can do offensively a year ago. Give me marginally better defensively, and let's go to Vegas and turn our pockets inside out and dump it out. They'll take the bet all day long, 24/7, 365. I'm ready to bet over the 8.5 on the Dallas Cowboys on this win.
Over?